Yeah, oh yeah, this is going to be a fun one right here. So let's go over UFC 278 real quick, just kind of really quickly. So we got Kamaru Usman versus Leon Edwards. This is Kamaru Usman's fight. I mean, let's be real. Kamaru Usman's that guy. He's a fucking Terminator. Yeah, I don't see Leon Edwards winning this fight anywhere. I think that before I might have said that Leon has a big enough advantage in the kickboxing that if he can keep Kamaru off of him, he could win. But since working with Trevor Whitman, bro, Kamaru Usman's boxing and stand up and kickboxing is so good that I don't think that there's anybody in the UFC that's at his weight limit where they're gonna have like a big advantage in the stand up to the point that it can't be effectively negated by Kamaru Usman, right? And so like effectively evenly matched everywhere except Kamaru's the champion. He's probably got the edge everywhere on Leon. Leon might have a little bit of an edge in the stand-up at this point, but again, it's Kamaru's making up so much groundwork with Trevor Whitman that I can't sit here and honestly say I believe that Leon Edwards has a big advantage in the stand-up. So, the way that Kamaru Usman sent Jorge Masvidal to space was extraordinary, and so he's got like the technical ability, he's got the mindset, he's got the power. He's that dude right now. Well, don't fuck with Kamaru Usman. Sorry, Rocky. Got to pick Kamaru. I want to be right. Paulo Costa and Luke Rockhold. If Paulo can make weight, I like Paulo in this one, right? I know that Luke Rockhold's kind of chinny, and Paulo punches like a fucking Mack truck. But if it goes beyond 2.5 minutes into the second round and Paulo Costa starts gassing and Luke Rockhold gets his hands on him and he's able to get him on the ground and work that Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Luke Rockhold's going to strangle him. But if I had to pick it, I'm going to pick Paulo Costa. I don't typically pick Paulo. Jose Aldo versus Merab Dvalishvili. It's an interesting fight, right? I'd probably have to pick Jose. Jose Aldo's looked really good in his last few fights. Like, what's his most recent fights looking like? 3 wins in a row. He took 3 losses in a row. But I mean, listen to this: it's Alexander Volkanovski, Marlon Moraes, and Peter Yan. And the Marlon Moraes decision was a split decision. And whenever I watched that shit live, I thought he won. And so did the UFC brass. And that's why his next fight after that loss was against Peter Yan for the championship. So you can take that 1 L with a grain of salt. But he's won 3 in a row after losing his shot against Peter Yan. Beat Chito Vera, beat Pedro Munoz, beat Rob Font. And I mean, those dudes are serious. Like those aren't guys to fuck around with. Those are all real serious wins. But let's see what Merab's been doing. I mean, fuck, man. Merab took 2 L's when he first got to the UFC, but has won 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 since then. But they've all been unanimous decisions with the exclusion of Marlon Moraes with the TKO in the second round. And I mean, let's be frank, Marlon Moraes, I believe, retired after this. Like, I think he was a little out of it. I don't think that he was in the. He didn't seem right in there. It didn't seem right. So, man, I'm gonna pick Jose Aldo. I think that Jose Aldo is gonna have a legitimate edge over Merab Dvalishvili. Yeah, I think it's Jose Aldo's fight to lose. I think that he's got a really good gas tank down at his new weight division. He's still packing power. That's above and beyond what most guys at bantamweight are used to experiencing, and I think it's going to be the Jose Aldo show. I think it's going to be a case of y'all must have forgot. Beyond that, we got Marcin Tybura versus Alexander Romanov, and Alexander Romanov is looking like a problem. I mean, my dude, undefeated. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-0 in the UFC. Submissions via key locks, TKOs, forearm chokes, triangle chokes, decisions. Yeah, man, this guy is like on the come up, looking good. Yeah, on the come up, looking good. But Marcin Tybura is no slump. Marcin Tybura is really, really good. I mean, he lost to Augusto Sakai, then beat Sergey Spivak, beat Maxim Grisham, beat Ben Rothwell, beat Greg Hardy, beat Walt Harris, and then lost to Alexander Volkov, which you really can't blame him for losing to Alexander Volkov. He's one of those guys who's got like a really difficult to deal with skill set, especially at heavyweight, and he's really a threat to like beat anybody on any Saturday night. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 1 in his last 6 versus never having lost. I mean, this is the one that's going to tell that this is a big test for Alexander Romanov. I think if I had to pick it, I'm going to go with Alexander Romanov though, for sure. Marcin Tybura, the only memories I have of him are him losing. It seems like he wins, you know, fights in an unmemorable way, and then he gets to the bigger spots, and then he loses, and like that's just the cycle for some people. And I hope the best for him. I hope he wins, but if I'm trying to pick it so that I'm right, I got to pick Alexander Romanov. Then you got Tyson Pedro versus Harry Hunsucker. That's going to be a really fun fight. Probably have to pick Tyson Pedro on this one. I know Harry Hunsucker's like competed at heavyweight and is a big guy and he's got some big power, but I'm a big Tyson Pedro fan. I think I'm going to have to call out for Tyson Pedro. And with that, everybody, it has been wonderful. Thank you all so much for tuning in. This is Joshua. You guys are the asshole, or the Armchair Army. We're not fucking Andrew Schultz. We're not listening to Flagrant 2 right now. Armchair Army. This is Joshua, and I really appreciate everybody for tuning in. And, keep an eye out. I'll be getting some content up soon. Peace.
Monkey mouth. Monkey mouth. Monkey mouth. Monkey mouth.